Hello dears, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Ana, where we share with you a lot of interesting and useful information from Benidorm town and Spain in general. Today, as every Monday and Friday, we talk about the latest news update from Spain and Benidorm. And we are in the lovely park of Eucalyptus, where a lot of people play the traditional Spanish petanca right there behind us. And we are in the village of Albir, just a couple of minutes from Benidorm, easy access with bus number 10 from Benidorm. And today I have very important news to share with you all. It's something that is giving me a lot of joy because I know a lot of you were waiting for it. A lot of you were waiting not to book the holidays just yet and seeing what's going to be happening. A lot of you were asking me questions on when finally this news will come out. And I can now proudly say that it is finally the case. And this will be one of the news for today. Also, we'll be talking about what has happened in Benidorm during the last weekend, which got us not in a very pleasant situation. And this is actually the reason why a lot of people think that Benidorm is not a good place to come for holidays. First of all, let's talk about the situation here in the country. The tourism is still thriving. Right now, it's a golden summer, golden autumn, how you want to call it, doesn't matter. A lot of tourists are coming still to Spain and to our Costa Blanca region and Benidorm as it is. Although it's not as crowded, it's not as too much of a people everywhere you go and everywhere you look. So there are no queues if you go to theme parks. It's just perfect timing for people to come, and people know it, especially those who don't like extreme temperatures right now are visiting our country. Some people did mention that hotels still have really high prices comparing to the previous years. And it's true. However, there are hotels that are lowering their prices down a lot, especially right now in September. It's medium season officially, which means that prices are not as high as they were in summer. And this is basically what's happening. A lot of people still are traveling. No strikes on the airports. We've talked about it in the latest news update last Friday. Everything is as it used to be, with an exception of high prices, inflation, and a little bit of uncertainty on what's going to be happening this autumn, winter. And if businesses in hosteleria, bars, Benidorm restaurants will be able to cope with huge amounts that they pay for electricity every single month. But we'll see about that slightly further on in the nearest future. And now the news that you all been waiting for. This was something that we did not expect. As I always tell you, Spanish government gives us these type of news from one day to the other. They don't plan it, and if they do, they don't tell us until it's like 1 day in advance or 2 days in advance. Starting from tomorrow, Tuesday, 20th of September, today is Monday when I'm filming it, obviously. There will be no controls, so no certificate of vaccination, certificate of test, nothing at all. No health forms will be necessary to enter Spain. Yes, this finally happened. You know that this was kind of a case for European Union countries. You know, they were really flexible between traveling from one country to the other inside of European Union or Schengen zone. But for third countries that are not in these two previous groups, it was really difficult. So a lot of you were telling me, I will choose another country then because it's just impossible. You know, I don't want to pay extra money for the testing. I did not have COVID recently, and I'm not vaccinated, for example, for medical reasons, right? So you could not travel. Right now, it's not the case. Every single person from worldwide, does not depend which country it is, including third countries, European Union, Schengen zone, all the entire world, is able to travel to Spain without the health form and without the certificate. All controls at all the airports in Spain, as well as on cruise lines, so on ships too, there will be nothing at all that will stop you from traveling in this case, which is just amazing news. And I kind of feel that after this news, those who were still hesitating and knowing what gorgeous weather we have right now here in Spain will decide to travel. So we might see a slight increase of tourists in the next couple of weeks here in Benidorm, which why not is also a positive news, because it will mean that businesses are still thriving, you know, the economy is still going forward and coping with the crisis, you know. It's a huge help for the hotels as well, because they'll be able to maintain job positions and not to shut down as early as they might be planning to. So tourism is always good here in our sector and for Spain in general, including all the islands as well and the peninsula. So great news. I'm sure a lot of you will be really happy about that one. And the last news that I wanted to share with you all is something that happened in Benidorm this weekend. This was one of the craziest in terms of weather nights in Benidorm in last few years, and it was a huge not a storm, I would say, but it was like a cold rain that just came out of nowhere to Benidorm area here towards Albir as well, and it was just pouring rain. If you follow social media and Instagram of different Benidorm accounts and Benidorm memes stuff, you know, that they publish, you probably have seen already a lot of videos that were showing fun, good and not so good and logical behavior here in Benidorm, which sometimes actually is one of the reasons why I was telling you guys and why a lot of people feel that Benidorm might not be the ideal place for them, because it's just showing people going and bathing naked in the water on the ground, basically on the road, because everything was collapsed. You know, the water was not running down through the pipes, through the you know, like all the systems that Benidorm has to avoid flooding. It was just too much, because it was 91 liters per square meter in a record amount of time. So everything was flooded, and a lot of people, because it was weekend, a lot of people were on the British street as well, which is where these images come from. I'm gonna try and put the images right here, but I'll need to pixelate some of the moments because some people literally don't wear anything at all, and which is why a lot of people see this and say, nah, it's not the place for me to visit. But Benidorm is not only this. Obviously, there is partying, there is nightlife, but Benidorm is way more than that. We have amazing gastronomy, amazing dishes and meals and recipes, traditional Spanish ones, tapas, lovely quality wine. We have amazing views, natural park, different open air areas that are amazing viewpoints, you know, where you can take just gorgeous pictures for your memory of your holidays. We have a chocolate factory, we have Guadalest, we have Algar waterfalls, we have theme parks in here. It's just a lot, and Alicante is just like 20 minutes away with a car, you know, so there's a lot to do in here for every type of tourism and for all ages, definitely. But videos like this, they don't really help when you kind of try and promote Benidorm as a good and quality way of tourism, you know. But this is what's been happening. A lot of people were playing in the rain, which is kind of a positive vibe of all this, you know. I will put you another picture right here. People were playing in the rain, they were splashing the water everywhere. A lot of people were walking down the streets and just singing with these like, you know, like black garbage bags, or with a specific raincoats, you know, that they sell in Chinese stores for just a couple of euros. So people bought that at night and they were just walking down the streets in this lovely rain and singing and having fun, basically, which there's nothing wrong about that, definitely. But this is what has happened, and literally during that night this weekend, we've had more than 20 interventions of firefighters here in Benidorm, because people were stuck in their garages, people were stuck on the road, you know. There are a lot of things that were failing that night in terms of electricity, and a lot of people needed help during that night, but it all has passed. And right now, as you can see, there is some lovely sunshine coming from these eucalyptus trees. There's a lot of people on the outside. It's around 27-28 degrees right now. Slight wind in here, but it's just perfect to stay outside and continue exploring. And this leads me to the weather update. What will be waiting for all those of you who have decided just right now to come to Benidorm in the next following week, because the weather will change quite a lot. As for the weather, as you can see right now, there are barely any kind of clouds at all here in the sky, so it's just sunny, nice and warm. However, on central parts of Spain, it's true that there might be some rain, although here just a few clouds during all this beginning of the week. By Wednesday and Thursday, it's true that we might have some slight rain in here, but it should not be anything massive or like huge storms, nothing like that. Let's hope it's going to be the case. Temperatures are really cozy and warm right now, just ideal as I've told you, and it's going to be still during all what's left of September and the majority of October month. Usually the rain is coming slightly later, it's coming in October, but this year everything is coming way earlier than it should be. Climate change, right, as a lot of people are saying. The temperatures here are 28 today, Alicante 29, Barcelona 26, Granada 32, Malaga 28, Sevilla 32, Madrid 27, Murcia today 31, that's the warmest place, together with Sevilla. Balearic Islands 30, Canarian between 28 and 27, and Valencia 28 degrees today. During all this week, temperatures will be more or less the same in here. However, in the areas where it's going to be raining the most, which is north and center and slightly more towards the south of Spain, the temperatures will get down up until more or less 17, 18, 20 or 23 degrees, for example. The water temperature is still 27.1, so it's still ideal for swimming. This was the latest news update from Spain and Benidorm region. The best news of all, the latest requirement and measure for traveling has been scrapped. By the way, the masks are still obligatory in a public transport, in train, bus, or in the basically on the plane. However, no restrictions for traveling any longer, which I'm quite sure is the best news possible that a lot of you I know were waiting for such a long time. Thank you all for watching. I wish you a light Monday, and we'll see each other on Wednesday with a new video from our lovely area of all here in Spain. Bye.